Here are 5 AI stocks every beginner should know before investing, what each company actually does in AI, and the single biggest risk to understand for each one. Quick disclaimer first, this video is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold any stock. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and nothing here is a recommendation for your personal situation. This is for education only. Always do your own research, look at the most recent numbers yourself, and talk to a licensed financial professional before investing. Stocks can go down as well as up, and past performance never guarantees future results. I'm Erin from Your Money Friend. Let's get into it. Now, if you're brand new, this is where I would slow down. For this part, I'm using TradingView to show you how a stock screener works. I'll leave the link below, but the main point isn't the website, it's learning to look past whatever stock is trending. Because when you open a screen like this, it's very easy to think those are the most active stocks, so they must be the best ones to buy. But that's not always true. A list like most actively traded is just showing you what people are trading a lot right now, and that doesn't mean the company is a good long-term investment. So instead of chasing what's popular, I'd want to narrow it down. As a beginner, I'd look at companies that are already large, already making real money, and already have a real connection to AI. Things like large cap, high revenue, or strong cash flow, because that tells me the company isn't just running on hype. Then, once I've got a stronger list, I ask 3 simple questions. First, how does this company actually benefit from AI? Second, is the core business already strong without the AI story? And third, what's the biggest risk I should know before I get interested? That is the whole point of this section. We're not grabbing a random stock off a list and rushing to buy. All right, number 1 is Nvidia, the AI chip leader. Nvidia designs the GPUs that train and run most of the world's biggest AI models. When a company builds a large AI system, those workloads usually run on Nvidia hardware. In its most recent quarter, Nvidia reported record data center revenue, up sharply from a year earlier. For a company already this big, that kind of growth is unusual. Here's the beginner way to think about it. In a gold rush, you can bet on a single miner, or you can sell the tools every miner needs. Nvidia is one of the main pick and shovel companies of the AI boom. It also has a software platform called CUDA that keeps developers inside its ecosystem, which is a big part of its advantage. The risk is that expectations are sky high. The stock has run up a lot, so the company has to keep delivering huge results to justify it. A lot of Nvidia's sales also comes from a handful of giant customers, and these are ongoing questions about export rules and selling chips into China. Nvidia is one of the most direct AI names to watch, but beginners should respect the valuation and never chase it just because it has already been going up. Next up, number 2 is Microsoft. Microsoft is interesting because it isn't just an AI stock, it's a huge software and cloud company now adding AI on top. Its AI exposure comes from Azure, which is Microsoft's cloud platform, plus tools like Copilot in Office, Windows, and GitHub. So the beginner way to think about Microsoft is this: AI is not the whole business, AI is the new growth layer on top of a business that was already strong. Even without the AI story, Microsoft still has products that millions of people and businesses already pay for every month. But this is why we still have to slow down. When you look at a stock page like this, it's easy to see a huge company like Microsoft and think, okay, this must be safe. But a safe company doesn't always mean a cheap stock. The risk with Microsoft is that AI is expensive. The company is spending heavily on data centers, chips, and cloud infrastructure to support all of its AI growth. So investors aren't just asking, is Microsoft a good company? They're asking, will all the spending actually turn into more profit? That's the part beginners need to watch. Microsoft is one of the stronger AI names because it gives you exposure through a real business that already makes money. That brings us to number 3, Alphabet. Search, Gemini, Google Cloud, and AI advertising all under one roof. Alphabet owns Google Search, YouTube, Android, Google Cloud, and the Gemini AI models. It has 2 things working together that are rare: a massive cash machine in search and advertising, and a fast-growing cloud business. In its most recent quarter, Google Cloud revenue grew about 63% year over year and crosses $20 billion in a single quarter for the first time, with a very large backlog of contracted future work. Alphabet already prints cash from ads while also investing heavily in AI, and it builds its own AI chips and models in-house, which is unusual. That gives it more control over its costs than companies that have to buy everything from outside. Now, here is the big risk to understand. AI could actually disrupt the search business that funds everything else. If people start getting answers straight from AI assistants instead of clicking search links, Alphabet Alphabet has to protect its advertising engine and reinvent it at the same time. So far, they say their AI search features are holding up, but it's a real tension worth keeping an eye on. Alphabet's interesting precisely because it sits on both sides of AI, huge opportunity and real disruption risk. Understanding both is the whole point. Number 4 on the list is Amazon, and the AI story here is really about cloud infrastructure through AWS. Amazon Web Services is one of the biggest cloud platforms in the world, and cloud is where a lot of AI actually gets built and run. When a company wants to build an AI product, it usually needs cloud computing, storage, databases, security, and AI tools, and AWS already sells all of them. So Amazon can benefit from the AI boom even if we don't know which individual AI app ends up winning. That's the beginner way to think about it. Amazon isn't trying to build one AI product, it's selling the infrastructure that many AI products need to exist. But that growth is expensive. Amazon has to spend heavily on data centers, chips, and infrastructure to keep AWS growing. So you can't only ask, is AWS important? You also have to ask, how much is Amazon spending to get there? If spending stays high while profits take time to follow, investors get nervous. So Amazon's worth watching because AWS gives it a major role in AI infrastructure. The thing to watch is simple. Does the growth turn into stronger profits or just higher spending? And the last one on this list is Broadcom. This one's less obvious than Nvidia, Microsoft, or Amazon, but that's exactly what makes it worth understanding. Broadcom isn't the company beginners think of first when they hear AI stock. It's not a chatbot, not an app you use every day, not the flashy name everyone brings up. But behind the scenes, it plays a major role in the infrastructure side of AI. When big tech companies build huge AI systems, they need more than one powerful chip sitting by itself. They need custom chips, networking, storage, and the connectivity that lets thousands of chips talk to each other and move massive amounts of data. AI isn't only about the model you see on your screen. It's about the invisible system underneath that makes it fast, powerful, and reliable enough to actually work. That's where Broadcom comes in. It helps large companies design custom AI chips and builds the networking that connects all the computing power together. So here's the beginner way to think about it. Nvidia may be the obvious AI chip name, but Broadcom helps build the roads and wiring AI systems need to scale. As AI gets bigger, companies may not want to rely on off-the-shelf chips. They may want custom silicone built for their own workloads, especially when they're spending billions on infrastructure. That's why Broadcom is worth watching. It's not the loudest AI stock, but it's tied to one of the most important parts of the AI build-out. This is also why beginners need to be careful here. It's easy to see strong AI demand and assume the story's simple, but Broadcom depends on a small number of very large customers. So you have to ask whether those customers keep spending and whether the semiconductor cycle is helping or hurting. Before getting interested in any stock, remember 3 things. First, never buy something just because it's popular or because someone online is hyped about it. Second, check the actual numbers: revenue, profits, valuation, and the company's long-term AI strategy. Third, remember that even a great company can be a bad investment if you overpay. The best business in the world can still lose you money at the wrong price. AI may have a lot of room to grow over the next decade, but that doesn't mean every AI stock is cheap, safe, or guaranteed to win. If you want to research these names for yourself, 2 tools can make that a lot easier. First is TradingView. It's great for pulling up charts, comparing these 5 companies side by side, building a watch list, and tracking key price levels before you ever make a decision. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. And second, if you're looking for a brokerage to invest through down the road, you can take a look at Interactive Brokers. It gives you access to stocks, ETFs, and global markets from one platform. Just make sure to review the fees, risks, and account requirements first, and remember that opening an account is not the same as being ready to invest. I'll drop that link below too. Research first with TradingView, invest when you're ready through IBKR. Both links are in the description. So those are the top 5 AI stocks to watch. AI could be one of the biggest investing themes of the next decade, but beginners win by focusing on real businesses, not hype. Each of these gives you a different angle on AI, from chips and cloud to software and infrastructure. Do your own research, and when in doubt, talk to a licensed professional. I'm Erin from Your Money Friend. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.